Hi guys, this is Anusha here, back again. A very good evening to all of you. Hope you all had a wonderful day and busy day of work, right? Now it is time for you to relax. And today I'm going to talk about the basic fundamental system, which is the value system. Now, what is a value system? A value system starts with self-love. Many of us do know that when it is self-love, it is being, commonly told as if you love yourself, then you will become selfish. We are being taught that way where when we love ourselves, we get selfish. Let me prove it wrong, guys. Self-love does not mean that. When you love yourself means that whatever smallest thing you do, maybe this bindi right here I put, and then your hair, the way you dress, whatever you do, when you do it with so much of love, that I am doing it because of that love for myself. This is a tiny step for a value system. Now, this value system, what I'm talking about, begins right from the time the child grows in the womb. Do you all believe it? Yes, guys, let me prove it for you. Now, when the life starts, right, and as the months progress, by the end of the 5th month, the organs which are already there for the child begin to grow. And if you all notice, especially mothers, the tendency and the urge, the crave to eat gets higher and higher and higher, and the beginning is the 5th month. So the child organs need so many things for it to grow. Nutritions, which is predominantly supplied by the mother. And now, when the cell begins to start growing, and then cell splits is what everybody learn in our fun science. Now most of us would have forgotten, no doubt about that. See, because we all were reading science just to score marks. Let me be honest. I'm honest with myself. I read science purely because of that. But now what happens in our context? Let me pull you all back into it. Coming to our context, when the child's organ starts growing, right, their needs increase, right? When their needs increase and when they don't get the right nutrition, what happens, guys? We all enjoy as mothers those tiny moments of push and pull and tiny talks from our tiny tots who grow within us, right? There is an ask which is being done. So that's the value system, that you need to ask for something, right? Begins for a kid, and the system is starting to grow when the child is within the mother's womb. Now the moment they keep growing, and when their space is not sufficient, there is an automatic development of value system in them. They don't ask, they just simply show by the symptoms. What are the symptoms? As mothers and fathers enjoy throughout the trimesters, it's the kicks, which begins to start at the month of 7. And those tiny little kicks, that is a design of the brain instructing the child to inform the mother, Mother, please listen to me. I'm not having space. You have to give me enough space. So that is when the mother also starts communicating to the kid, saying, kid, your organs are not yet grown fully. Hold on, hold on. However, whenever there is a discomfort to you, you give permission to the child to, kick you, and you enjoy, you relish the moments, and so does the father. We all have been enjoying those moments, right? Now it's got time that I have to come out. So the child informs you that, Mama, it's time for me to come out. I have no more space left. We start developing the sentence where it's the moment has arrived that the child is going to come out. And when they come out, they are terribly scared. Guys, listen to me again. Yes, the child is terribly scared. Why? We all were scared when we came out to this huge world. The communication before I came into the world was between me and my mother. So was every child in this earth. And always there was a comfort provided by the mother, right? So now you see this communication slow and steady begins to develop the value system within the child. And when the child comes out, the fear naturally comes. Why? Because I was protected by my mother, and now suddenly I'm out in this cold, scary place. The temperatures are totally different. In my mother's womb, I was getting everything I needed. Now I have nothing what I need. I don't know what I'm there. So it's total confused brain there, which is still developing, still learning things, still trying to adapt to the environment. So immediate reaction and symptom the child gives to the doctor and as well as the mother. I don't know how many mothers actually heard the first cry of their child. Most of us would have definitely heard it. So all the symptoms, these fear come out as a symptom of cry, and immediately the child cries, and that small cry actually it does not bring sadness to a mother. However, the mother thoroughly enjoys that cry in the child. What is the cry of the child? The child needs a mother, needs a holding there, right? So that is the number one step. Ask. Ask what you need. That's your value system being changed. Let me tell you guys, as we grow, the value system never stays the same. As I grow, and few months before I even speak, the only way I communicate to the people around me is when I say something, I cry, right? And when I cry, every child is unique, right? So some children just purely cry. Some children, when their motor skills are developed, they point out to something and cry. They communicate. They say, and the mother and the father understand the child is seeking something. Again, it is a need. It is a way of communicating and a way of ask. So the fundamental starts right from the womb, and the way is to ask, to seek for help. This value system slowly grows. And when I start speaking and when I start communicating through my mouth and I begin to use my hands, I play, I do my so many things, I climb up the ladder, I try to touch the fire, they get refined. the touch of a fire is a curiosity. That's the next value system which develops automatically in a child. That's an exploration in a child. That thing that moments something new and flashy, which is going to grab our child's eyes. It's completely drawn towards it, right? At that time, as a guide, or rather a responsible parent, you can say, I would say, look child, in a very very nice way, patient way, child, please don't go there. You will hurt yourself, you will fall down. And some parents are so protective that they don't allow their children to explore. I have allowed my children to explore, and even now I do allow them. And as a child, there have been humongous times they fell, and every time they fell, I used to teach them the learning. Why did they fall? Where were they lacking? What was that lacking motor skill? Where was the imbalance in them? Why did they trip? Accidents are different, guys. Accidents is just that when kids play around together, they have a tendency to push each other, not even with an intention to push. It's just that, I want to be the first. I just want to be the first. Simplest of a simple thing. You see a group of kids playing on a slide. Every child would they climb up the stairs. They don't want to wait for their turn. They say that at that time, parents say, in a very nice way we can say, but then however, as the child grows and their value system changes, and we as parents become judgmental too. Judging the child that, look, instead of teaching a value system there, you just make it as an order. Look, stay, hold on there. So all of us have gone through these things. So today, coming to the point, I want to speak about the 3 most important aspects of a value system. Now, first thing is a self-love. And as a child, let me tell you, the self-love is at the highest. And they live up to their highest value system. Why? Because they are completely at the present moment. They live for the present moment. They enjoy the present moment. They love doing something what they do, even messing around walls. Tell me how many kids actually were scolded for scribbling on the wall. It's a natural tendency. They just are always on the present. Colors, brightness, it simply draws them. Okay? And the next one is trust. Extending the same example, I will tell you, when I introduced my child, my daughter, when I took her to the park, she was a little hesitant. Hesitant in the say that it is her fear in her that, I see other children sliding. When I'm going to slide, am I going to fall or not? Right? It's a basic comfort which I gave her. Don't worry, I'm there for you. So I stood beside her. I was just there at the landing place. And the first step she took towards experiencing the slide, she knew how it was. It was allowing oneself rather, to experience it. And that was derived out of the trust. The first thing every child would do is the trust. Now, why is that? As elders, we grow, we tend not to trust ourselves. We never listen to the inner voice or our intuition, which continuously says, no, what you're doing is not going to help you. Why we do that? We all are developing a bias. Simple, guys. Most simple way of understanding is a coin. The coin has 2 sides. And the reality of the world is anything can never exist, including me and include everybody listening, cannot live in this world without upsides and downsides. That's me making it more simpler. Without positivity and negativity in oneself, we cannot live. We are human beings. Now, why this basic trust? And more importantly, when we are under infatuation, to make it more simpler, it could be an attraction. Okay? An attraction, simplest example I could say is let me take a young boy. Okay? Young boy likes to play games, and most of our parents have that trouble in us right now because of COVID. Almost all the boys are into playing games. Why do they do that? And why are they doing it? Is because they live at the present and they like doing it and they love doing it with so much of immersiveness. They start doing it. Okay? And because of this highest value in them at the present, when the mother and father tries to control or tries to limit the time, tries to educate the child that you should not be doing it, instead of using not, there are other ways of anyways holding on to the child, so that's where the child starts, the shake of trust is happening there within the child. And so is the trust as parents. So whenever there are school hours, the mother and father are aware, my child is looking at the school. He's hearing to his teacher, so we just leave them alone. Okay? Now and then, however, we come and check because of the concern and worries and so on and so forth. But inbuilt in our subconscious mind, the only thing which shakes me and my child connection is the trust. And that gets more and more stronger when they actually are realizing the freedom of air, when they start living out by themselves. And at that age, at the teenage, which is the toughest age, where they explore themselves, they try to create an identity for themselves, this value system evolves. So they build a value system back on based the memories which they got, or the learnings which they got from their parents, and what they are seeing around in the world. And there's a lot of hormones like estrogen and all those new hormones which are getting generated, which will lead them to a tendency where I see a guy who's really smart, I get attracted to that. The first step towards that is watching a movie. Wow, this hero is simply awesome. Okay? And what happens is, we see only one side of the coin. The bias gets attached automatically to that. The value system evolves. So does the adult. When they become the adult, it gets even the stronger. Okay? I set my value system. I define somebody good. I define somebody bad based on my judgment. Quickly I make. How do I do that? When somebody says something good. We'll take the same example of the boy. Just imagine a mother coming saying, "Hey boss, you're doing a wonderful job of playing, keep playing." The child simply smiles and continues. It gives so much of love, so much of hugs to the mother, and doesn't realize the negative side of that game. What it can do to it. How can it disturb the eyesight? Does not realize that at all. That's exactly the same what happens to the girl and a boy who's under infatuation. They see only the good side of that boy. Okay? They say that, when we speak to people don't realize their real worth, because they have this bias and judgment. And the tendency of the parents is that they say that based on their experience, that this is not good, this, that, and there's always a train of relationship which straight away happens when this kind of a situation comes around and moves around in a family. Right? Now stop, guys, stop and think about yourself. What you can offer which people want. What you can give which people want. Ask yourself that question. Okay? It is irrespective of the age. Now this is the first fundamental step of living up to your value system. And living up to a value system is again your choice. Whether your value system is really high enough, but you never live up to that. You are not doing anything, but you're just simply carried away, adapting the value system and trying to live the value system of another person, which is quite common when you are attracted to a person. You strike a conversation, you like that person, you say you like, but you don't even realize that you're slowly being adapting their value system, and it's not going to definitely sustain. It will die after a period. For sure it is going to die, and then the person gets into the problem of depression, anxiety, and lot many psychological effects. Stop a moment and now think about it, guys. Think about the right questions. Why do I not love myself? Why do I not trust my inner voice? Why am I not living up to my highest value system? And I'm here, there, again, your basic fundamental value system asking for help. Reach out to me here. I'm there, always here. I will help you to identify your passion and the most value system you are aiming to become. Okay? You as a person, you want to achieve, and how you can make a differentiator. Now people they just say, I'm unique. There's a fight, there's an argument at home, they say simply to the parents, I'm unique. Why don't you accept me the way you are? But are you really unique by living to your highest value system? And when you live up to your highest value system, you actually are a differentiator, and you are the unique person in this entire universe and world, guys. Reach out to me. Now think and reach out to me. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep connected. Loads of love, and have a wonderful night and a tight sleep. Bye bye.